A star shines on this particular time of the year. On this special day, XYZ Broadcasting celebrates a man whose life has been a beacon of selflessness, humility, and unwavering dedication to public service. His journey has been nothing short of extraordinary, rising speedily through the ranks while touching countless lives along the way. To mark 57 years of God's goodness, we put together a few friends, colleagues, and well-wishers during his time in public service to tell the success story of Julius Debrah. Happy birthday, dear sir.
I got into contact with Mr. Julius Debrah when he came to University of Ghana for his first degree courses. I met him in the Department of Archaeology then one morning, and I thought he was there to look for somebody. Not knowing he was a student, I approached him as head of department and asked if he needed assistance. And we started chatting. And it was like, well, he was a student trying to study archaeology amid all these younger people. So we became friends, and I told him that education is not a race to see who would win, but it's about determination. And that led to other conversations, and we became friends. What attracted me to him most is his humility. Although he was relatively older among his peers, he was very humble, and I realized he was very determined to complete his course. Very unassuming person, as we all came to know him. What we have come to learn about him is that he is very open-hearted and always determined to succeed. He doesn't say anything that he would not be able to do. And I believe that he thinks through all that he does before starting. And so we came to the conclusion that if you won't do it, don't start. Once you start, you have to do it and do it best. And that is how we have seen him performing up to today. Julius was so daring to venture into the Doctor of Philosophy program in the same department, Department of Archaeology and Heritage Studies. He, I should say, is the first recipient of the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation Scholarship. So he is the first research fellow of the Andrew Mellon supranational funding for the Remaking Society's Remaking Persons project at the University of Ghana. And he has lived up to expectation ever since receiving this award.
Julius Debrah was a gift to us, those of us who were working with Professor Mills in 2004. We actually met during the campaign. He had been very close to the campaign during the 2000 elections, which Professor Mills lost. So on our move again onto the, let me say, the campaign trail, his name was mentioned. That was somewhere around 2005, to be part of the team to work for Professor Mills, even when he was not in Ghana. That was my first time of really meeting him one-on-one, and it was quite exciting. I saw in him very lively and nice person, and that's when I got to know that he has a favorite nickname, Pa. Then we shout Papa. I saw a different politician. He wasn't that time, I didn't see him as a politician, I saw him more as a businessman who was assisting in the campaign. There's no time that he will get to bed without calling to find out whether we're all okay. Sometimes we had difficulties and with logistics, especially fuel. He was always ready to support. He was then much more in the eastern region. So when we finished with the work, it was his house, his bar, it was a restaurant and drinking spot all together. So that's why we're taking our dinner, we're having fun, relaxing ourselves before the next day. And it was beautiful working with Julius Debrah. But up to that time, I didn't see him as a politician, even though he had contested the Suhum seat twice. I was always telling him that his possibly it was his way of life that was making him lose, because he was too nice and too, let me say, gentle for the sort of job at hand. And knowing Suhum constituency, I said he was allowing himself to be bullied. Julius was gentle, too gentle. But he told me that they are family. And he doesn't think that when one person is using rough tactics, he should also do the same. He thinks that people will see him differently if he continues to conduct himself. So we won elections, and Professor Mills became president. And I'm very sure that Julius himself may have opted to be head of the Tourism Development Authority, because he was so keen and so enthusiastic about tourism. Seriously, I think his time doing work in the northern part of the country, especially the Upper West, Upper East area, he was too accustomed to a lot of tourism potentials of the country. He wanted to contribute to the development of those potentials. So he became the director of, head of Ghana Tourist Board, and it was fantastic.
For the 1 year that we worked together, it was a very good working relationship, during which we initiated several laudable programs and initiatives for the development of tourism in Ghana. One of them is the review of Ghana's Tourism Development Plan then, which is now the Ghana Tourism Development Plan 2013 to 2027. It was a program supported by UNDP Ghana, ECA, and of course the UNWTO. We also initiated action to convert the then GTB, or the Ghana Tourism Board, into Ghana Tourism Authority, with all the mandate and the resources to promote tourism in Ghana, and also for Ghana as a gateway of tourism in the West African sub-region. We also initiated action against all odds to get the Ghana Tourism Development Levy initiated. In fact, it was a tug of war, I would say, between us and the operators, who thought that we were going to levy them, the operators, and so they didn't want to cooperate with us. But the two of us, took a stern decision, and also involved the partners, the stakeholders, to understand us, because we needed the resources to develop tourism and also promote their businesses. So eventually, we got the opportunity through an act of parliament to levy at least 1% on guests who patronize tourism facilities, hotels, and all that. And this is what is, making it possible for the promotion of tourism in Ghana today. During our tenure, or working together, we initiated street carnivals in Ghana. We did that together with the Ghana Society and the UK Carnivals Authority. We started a program to promote domestic tourism in Ghana. we sat down and thought that we should do something that will make the Ghanaian familiarize with his or her country. So we started the domestic tourism promotion project, which started with taking ambassadors at the time on a tour of Shai Hills, Akosombo, and I think Asuchari. We went to Asuchari for them to get used to the countryside, to know the countryside and to know, what Ghana is beyond Accra and the big cities and the towns that most of them knew of at the time.
I have known Julius from his time when he was a tour operator in the private sector, or in the tourism private sector. He was a very successful tour operator, well known and well liked because his tours were unique. Until in 2009, when Professor Mills took over as the President of the Republic of Ghana, and he appointed Julius as the CEO of the then Ghana Tourist Board. So when he took over that year, there was no paragliding, and a lot of political meanings were read into it. So his appointment came at the latter part of 2009. So Julius took it upon himself to indeed take the festival to a different level. So in 2010, he put a team together to organize that year's paragliding.
In 2010, when we were preparing for the Easter celebrations in Kwewu, I was then the Chief Operating Officer of Multimedia in charge of the Adum FM brand. So I got a call from Chief Julius Debrah for a meeting on possible collaboration. And in fact, it's so exciting and easy working with Chief Julius Debrah because of his innovative ideas and his own way of turning things around into great experience. The main things we discussed were the paragliding activities, the accommodation for revelers who come to Kwewu, and then how to launch the program itself with a theme song. Now, with the paragliding, prior to 2010, it was just an affair for foreign pilots who came to Ghana to fly, and the rest of us would just stand around and watch them fly. Then Chief Julius decided that this time around, we have to open up to the Ghanaian public for any persons who were willing and interested in flying or to participate in the experience. That is why it became a public event for everybody in Ghana who is willing and interested in participating. It was his idea to open it up to the general public of Ghana. The next thing was, okay, now how do we take care of all these people who will be coming to Kwewu? Hotel accommodation is very expensive around Easter. The hotels usually will give you a package for 4 nights, whether you're staying for a day or 2, you have to pay for 4 nights. And accommodation was a bit scarce. Then again, the innovator said, look, why don't we go and have an experience, a camping experience? So we went for tents. He supplied a tent. We went to Kwewu, set up a camp at the Impraiso Senior High School park, gave some to us, the media crew who were then in Obo, and collaborating with Ghana Tourism Authority. And look, lo and behold, everybody who went to Kwewu then wanted a piece of the camping experience. Everybody wanted a tent, and our tents were oversubscribed.
He ordered for tents to be erected on the school park, more than 200 of them. And come and see, because it was an innovation, a new thing. People hadn't seen it before. People just wanted to be part of that tent idea. And people were just booking the tent. Some were taken to places like Obo and other places just to enjoy the fun. So for the first time, I saw people scrambling for tents and not buildings or hotel rooms. That was what Julius could do. That was the magic wand he introduced into the marketing of the paragliding festival. And up to now, I haven't seen anything of the sort. I haven't seen paragliding driven to that level before, no.
Imagine a bonfire in the evening, all of us sat together to share ideas, to discuss the main event. It was such an experience. And having Chief Julius Debrah to lead that team of media people from Multimedia Group Limited and Ghana Tourism Authority, or Ghana Tourist Board, under the Ministry of Tourism, with our chief executioner, who was Chief Julius Debrah. It was so easy and exciting. We had fun. Before we got to Kwewu, we needed to launch the activities with a theme song. There were several options. Nana Boro had then launched his hit track, Ahayedo, Kebieu. So again, I presented these options with Daddy Lube's songs to Chief Julius, and everybody in the meeting said, it has to be Ahayedo, Kebieu.
Indeed, it was an explosion. The song caught on so well with Ghanaians that everybody wanted to be part of the festival.
The advertisement which came out during his time at the tourist board, Kwewu, Kwewu,
Kwewu, Kwewu, and everybody was like, yes, that is it. That should be the promo.
Everybody, it was on the lips of virtually everybody. Kwewu, Kwewu, everybody was expectant to see what will become of that year's festival. That was 2010.
That also popularized the area. And one thing led to the other. They set the background for what we have today.
In fact, today it's also being extended to other activities beyond Easter in the Kwewu area.
Julius was an achiever, a huge achiever, and he made a tremendous impact as chief executive of the Ghana Tourism Authority between the years 2009 and 2012. So if this day he is being celebrated for his 57th birthday, these are all testimonies. The man has so much testimonial that anywhere he goes, he manifests what he could do, and he does it in style.
He gets things done easily. He has great ideas. He's a team player. He listens to everybody, and he ensures that everybody on the team buys into the idea so all of us together can execute flawlessly.
I am really amazed at his humility still, in spite of all the achievements that he's made. And between him and I, the respect is mutual. I give him respect as a chief of staff, a one-time chief of staff, and he equally reciprocates it as a one-time minister of tourism. And that is so amazing, because one, can really find this kind of a situation where somebody who worked under me and has progressed to become a chief of staff, like in the office of the president, and who exercises authority over almost everybody in that government, still being very humble and so calm and so accessible. It's indeed very strange, but I'm happy for him. I'm happy for his life, and I want to pray that he continues this way, and the sky will be his limit.
Let me wish Mr. Julius Debrah a happy 57th milestone. Mr. Debrah, God bless you.
Chief Julius Debrah, Kwewu Dishe, Ghana's great son, I wish you well, and I wish you a happy birthday. And may the blessing of the good Lord continue to rest upon you.
I think that he's simply cut out for greater achievements in future. And I want to use this opportunity to wish him a very happy 57th birthday. He is gradually growing to join us in the Senior Citizens Club. And I wish him all the best, in life. I wish him good health. I wish him peace. And above all, I wish him more wisdom to be able to handle greater responsibilities in the future.
I want him to be happy, in good health. He should be able to continue to meet his social responsibility at his old age. And for now, the best must continue to come his way, because he is a good man and good things must follow him. Happy birthday, Julius.
Happy birthday, Babalata. That's the name.
Honorable Julius Debrah is a person I have known for quite some time now, quite closely, for some time now. He's a very special person, and his nature is such that he makes you feel all the time that there is nothing at stake. He makes things very easy. I remember this very special occasion when somewhere in 2013, November, when His Excellency the President gave ultimatum that the street naming and property addressing system in Ghana should be undertaken within 18 months. It should be done. And this was after, if you will recall, the entire project had delayed unreasonably under the street naming and property addressing policy and guidelines. It had delayed quite close to about 6 years. So one day, President Mahama gave ultimatum to the Minister of Local Government, that was Honorable Julius Debrah, that within 18 months this should be done. And I remember immediately President Mahama did that. We were all alarmed because the statement was as if you are unable to do, you'll be sacked. And so Julius Debrah met us. And you see, immediately he met us, that is all MMDCs. And then he said, look, we can do this. This should be very, very easy. We should all calm down. And so we went through due processes, training, capacity building workshops. And one thing I remember was that we didn't even have resources. And we were contemplating how we're going to do this. But Honorable Julius was able to mobilize resources and technical guidelines from the ministry to all MMDCs. And I remember, I came in quite late because my appointment was around 2011. And so at the time I was in office, I wasn't sure. He called me to his office and he told me that, Atukwe, I know you came in not long ago, but I'm going to help you to make sure the project is undertaken. And so he gave me people, certain technical resource people, to be helping me. Anytime I needed help, I should consult them. And this made the work very, very easy. And he was also visiting the municipality at an unannounced period. So he gave us the edge to meet the target. Throughout Greater Accra, anywhere he went, he would invite all MMDCs, who all be in one car. And then during the period that we were going, we'll be dancing in the car and we'll be laughing and he'll be sharing jokes with us. He made it so easy, as if there was nothing at stake. Eventually, with his guidelines and with his support, we were able to complete the exercise in less than 18 months. So Honorable Julius Debrah is quite unassuming. And when you are with him, he doesn't make you feel under pressure, yet the work will be done. Honorable Julius Debrah is the one that has built me right from my young period at Ablekuma Central Constituency. And he has been able to guide me politically. And even becoming a lawyer, it was Honorable Julius Debrah who supported me through and through, because I was in office when I began the law school, and it was very challenging. But he made it possible for me to go to school, and today I'm in the national legal team, and I'm helping the same party so that we can deal with very difficult cases in the party. Honorable Julius Debrah is a strategic thinker. If you get close to him, he's very strategic, and he's always very calm to solving problems. If you don't even get close to Honorable Julius and at a distance, he's always smiling. He's a game changer. And it's somebody that when you get close to him, you will never ever forget about him. Usually when you visit him and you are leaving, he will tell you that, I mean, that has been the mantra for a very long period up to today. On this very important occasion of his 57th birthday, boss, I can only request for continuous God's blessings and guidance for you. I know definitely that your vision to work very hard to get His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama elected again and to become the next president again for this country will come to pass. And we will all support you to ensure that this is achieved. Happy birthday, boss.
Surprisingly, when I was announced that I was going to be deputy to Julius Debrah, wow, it was all joy. It was happiness because the culture I had developed with Oran Adrisu, if I had gone to any other ministry, I wouldn't know what would have happened. But God really tailored me to the office of Honorable Julius Debrah. And he never saw himself as my boss. He, as soon as I got there, said, you see today, God has brought us together again to work together. If when we're working together, if we had not lived like a family, we've not supported each other, we've not been friends, you don't know. Maybe by now we couldn't be here. Let's always continue to live like that. And I thought it was a very thought-provoking advice and message he gave me as a welcome address. And that day, the first day I entered his office, you should be there. How he embraced me and shouted, "Pa," and I shouted, "Papa." The secretaries at the ministry were surprised. They said, "What is happening here?"
Julius Debrah is my boss, a brother, a friend, and a leader that I've worked with. If you want me to say something about Julius, what I will say is he's a transformational leader. He's a leader that I worked with, and I enjoy working with him so much as a friend, as a brother. I will call him a transformational leader, a leader who will want to groom others to become leaders, a leader who will want to change or bring transformation in a setup. And this is the kind of man that I know. Julius worked with me, and he groomed me to be probably who I am today. And I will say he's a very, very authentic guy. I'm saying he's authentic because with all his humility, Julius will make sure that the right thing is done. He will give you the room to operate. He will give you the chance to excel. He will give you the opportunity to be able to demonstrate your talent and what you're capable of. When I was working with him, we had the opportunity to have a program in Ghana which was very successful. That is the National Sanitation Day.
I remember when I went to discuss the issue of national sanitation with him, he looked at me and said, "Charlie, Miss Madrin home, whether you could the idea now, Charlie and Yamani, why?" So we worked together to the president, discuss with the president, we discuss with the then chief of staff, Professor Dr. Bani. We discussed with key ministries. We didn't have money, but we said, look, we'll do this. Because it wasn't really captured under the budget. But we have to do it because the sanitation in the country at that time needed to be tackled head on. So we went ahead, consulted with Otumfo Setutu, we consulted Amoatio Filipain, we consulted with the late nation Latamanche, Neko Jababio, we consulted with Toby Apede, we consulted with all the big chiefs in the country so that we wanted to work together with the traditional authorities. We even consulted with the then Chief Justice, Georgina Wood. And today, the benefit of that consultation is what we are having, the building of courts across the country. Because Georgina Wood demanded something from us that if we want her and the judiciary to pursue the issue of sanitation courts, then we should contribute to the building of courts. So as soon as we came back, we sat in the office and planned how to talk to the then Common Fund Administrator, Kojo Fin, to try to set something aside within the formula so we could use to embark upon the national sanitation exercise. It was quite an innovation.
In fact, It gave me the opportunity to roam all over Ghana to champion the idea of we keeping our environment clean. We're making sure that at least Ghana is a clean country. And as a leader, as a minister, who was the sector minister, he gave me the room and my brother Neil Lante Vanderpoy to operate very well and excel and let people at least showcase to Ghana that we are also capable of doing something.
Let me say, I was really sad when he was taken away from the ministry and made chief of staff. Contrary to what I was feeling, other people thought that it was the best for me because my very good friend, my brother, had been made chief of staff. But my worry was the fact that the relationship we had developed and the plans we were building together for the ministry, we wanted to use the ministry to show what true local governance meant to us. How our fathers and former leaders constructed the decentralization, what they wanted to get out of it. And Julius was so receptive to ideas, various ideas. We'll sit and we'll plan together. And he never made it his idea. He made it idea of the group. My other deputy, Kojajikum, was almost in tears when Julius was made chief of staff.
I wasn't surprised at all when he was promoted to be the chief of staff of His Excellency President Mahama. I knew he was capable of what he's doing. I knew he can do it. I knew he would make sure it happens. And I wish him well in his 57th birthday. 57th chief, I think, is a very great adulthood age. And I believe that God will bless you more. I know a lot of people in Ghana are expecting a lot from you as a former chief of staff and as somebody who has done so much for this country. All the sectors, whoever knows Julius, from tourism, from local government, from security to cleaners, secretaries, directors, everybody knows that Julius will give you a role, a free role to play, a role that you have to come out with a results, not just go and leave it. He will make sure something new is happening, a new dynamics is coming up. And I think Julius is a fantastic guy. And he's somebody that we need. These are the people that we need to transform this country. So I enjoyed working with him. You know, that is what I would say. And I have a phrase that I normally play with him. He will understand it most. And when I say meneno in Ga, he will say biantoneno. We only understand what it means. And I believe strongly that wherever he is enjoying his 57th birthday, I want to say happy, happy, happy birthday. May the Lord Almighty richly bless you and your family, and make sure you let a lot of people learn from you and become good leaders and operate well in this country.
My brother Julius, happy, happy, happy birthday. We wish you good health, more success, and happiness. Congratulations. And congratulations for all you've been able to achieve in the 57 years, and for the exemplary, selfless public service. I remember working with you as Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, and you were so passionate about financing toilets. We toured together deprived areas in Accra and put in place toilets in some of the most deprived areas because you wanted to eradicate cholera. And your passion for supporting the deprived was truly infectious. We, Ghana, needs more public servants like you. I also truly admire your humility, patience, and the way you give your time freely to almost everyone you come into contact with, even as a very busy chief of staff. Happy birthday, and may the Almighty continue to richly bless you. Congratulations.
Julius Debrah is a man that I worked with in the office of the president when he worked as the chief of staff and I as a presidential staffer. My experience of him in the time was that he, Julius Debrah, is a thinker. He, Julius Debrah, is a doer. And above all and in between there somewhere was someone who had fellow feeling. I was in the office of the president before Julius Debrah came. As soon as he came, he called all of us together. He rallied all of us together. Over the period that we worked, I saw in him the exemplification of the 5 key principles of leadership that has come up over time. In Julius Debrah was a leader who modeled the way. It's not just what he said, it is also what he did. In Julius Debrah was a leader who inspired a shared vision. And what was the vision? The vision was to have one of the best presidencies under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And he made sure that all of us staffers there caught onto that vision and we all shared that vision and worked accordingly. Julius Debrah was the leader who challenged the process. When things were done and they were not done well, he was not afraid to challenge the process, to challenge who did what, and ensured that the right thing was done. Also, Julius Debrah was a leader who enabled others to act. He did not say that because he was the chief of staff, he would do everything. He would minute letters to us, letters addressed to him. He would minute to us to take action. And so he enabled all of us to work, still giving him his space and respect as the chief of staff. And above all, Julius Debrah was the leader who encouraged the heart. Once you did something and you did it well, he was not afraid to give you your space, to share the glory with you. He was not afraid to say that, well done, staffer. And so on the occasion of your birthday, Julius Debrah, who affectionately calls me Kwesi Mami, which for me is the best accolade ever that I have gained on this earth. I want to wish you a happy birthday, a glorious one, and may you soar even higher, and may all things concerning you fall in pleasant places. Have a good birthday.
Honorable Julius Debrah is a very professional and hard-working gentleman. In fact, one of the extremely hard-working senior colleagues that I've ever met in my life. He's so serious and focused, very time-conscious, disciplined, organized, and what have you. But one thing I like about him is his humility and modesty. He's the type I refer who practices what we call servant-leader relationship. He provides you the environment to work, comfortable, makes himself affable and approachable. And I can tell you on authority that whoever worked with him those days appreciated it, except of course you had your own issues. And when it comes to time consciousness, you can count on me. When he says 7 o'clock, sometimes it's 5 minutes to 7. And that is his style. He never gets late to a program. That's him. And when you talk about modesty, hey, the first a chief of staff who will not employ a bodyguard, personal security, he drives to anywhere he wants to go. Seriously, I didn't understand why as a chief of staff he didn't have a bodyguard. Didn't have drivers, didn't have personal staff to serve him. Chief of staff to the president, I'm telling you, is the one I'm talking about. Approachable, excellently, you can't just describe him. You see, talking about Julius Debrah, the person who has not had the opportunity to interact with him will think that you are exaggerating, but hey, that guy is 1 out of a million. When you say humility in authority, you can use Julius Debrah to describe it. He doesn't believe in social status, where because he's the chief of staff or he has whatever he needs to live. You think that he should not mingle with, but they are the people he loves to mingle with. And one admirable trait about Julius is that he likes to associate with people he began life with when he was a nobody. He believes in grassroots type of relationship. An exceptionally excellent guy. I'd love to work with him any day, anytime, anywhere. That much is guaranteed.
I'm excited
at this moment and very privileged to be celebrating a colossus. My time with Chief spans many years back and still counting. I used to call him Julius until he was elevated to the office of Chief of Staff. Then I began calling him Chief, as everybody did. He is and has been a great and dependable son, friend, brother, and a blessing to many, many people. Chief is a very determined man any individual, group, or organization would love to work with. He is selfless, he is a doer, a goal-getter, a big dreamer, a realist, a motivator, and a mentor to many, many people. Many would positively testify to his passion for work. I can confidently say that he discharged his duties creditably. Chief, in fact, has a Midas touch. Now, talking about his passion for work, I remember that during the 2016 electioneering campaign, our party, the National Democratic Congress, they put together a campaign team.
So during those days, we traveled all around the country campaigning. It was the first time I was seeing a chief of staff in that role anyway. Even though we're out on the field, you can be sure that every single day between 7 and 8, he had received every letter, every mail that has come to his desk as chief of staff. And one challenging thing most of the staff had with him was, you dare not delay any work once it has to be responded to. And so between the time we wake up and we depart, he would have answered every single message or letter that has come to his desk. We do it by mail. He will send it to the clerks. Sometimes they will send it to him. He will edit, make sure that he signs it and gets it across, gives instructions. He works from the time we take off until we get to wherever we are going.
It was at that time that I really, really saw in him the virtues of an active and a real team player. We went around the whole nation tirelessly and selflessly with Chief. And in the morning, by the time we got to our cars ready to move, he was already in the car waiting. And this can also attest to his passion for work.
I'll tell you something about his modesty. One day we're traveling to Kumasi, and the same pressure of work at the office. So we go to the airport, when I say few, less than 5 minutes before they close the counter. So when we got there, I'm sure the guy didn't know him. He said, "Oh, we've closed the counter." I said, "What, my friend? The chief of staff is traveling and you are telling me they've closed the counter?" I said, "Yes, they've closed the counter." I said, "Hey, if you joke, your aircraft will not fly." He looked at me and said, "Colonel, we are late. Let's go back and find a way of getting to Kumasi." I didn't understand him because I wanted to, chief of staff. How can you joke with the chief of staff? But I insisted, and we sat in our cars and drove back. Whilst we were going, I wanted to call Tobu Afede to tell him to warn his guys that you don't joke with the chief of staff. I said, "Colonel, I don't want you to call anybody. We were late, and it's as simple as that. Let's go back and find our way to Kumasi." No, his humility, I don't know, but I wish we could, leaders in authority can learn something from it. Because you see, the power that we have as citizens or the ordinary people, that we give to people to rule us, it's not for them, it is for us. We give it to you to rule. So you got to respect me. And so when you work with Julius and you are getting that recognition as an ordinary person, you can imagine how it is. I feel good. On this special occasion, I want to speak on behalf of the Mante family to wish him happy birthday. I soak him in the blood that Jesus shed on Calvary. I build firewalls around him in the name of the Almighty God. He's going out and he's coming in, he will be blessed. Nothing of the enemy will touch his life. He shall be called blessed. And I pray that his wife Victoria his kids will enjoy the benefits of from the seed that their father has sown and will continue to sow.
May you continue to flourish and be a helper to many. May you be the head, but never the tail. There is more to come. May you live to be 100. May the good Lord bestow upon you the courage of Daniel. May he bestow upon you the faith of Abraham. May he bestow upon you the hope of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Chief Julius, live long to proclaim the glory of God. Happy, glorious birthday to you again. Live long, live long.
Julius, please, this is a personal message to you. Take good care of yourself for us, because you are not living for yourself. You are living for the larger Ghanaians, the larger community. All those who depend on you. So please take care of yourself for us. We love you, we always love you, and be rest assured that as for loyalty, 100%, you have my salute.
As he celebrates his birthday, I pray for the Lord Almighty to be with him, to always protect him. He's just too good an asset to the NDC and to all of us. And God should always protect him. I pray for the Lord's mercies, the Lord's favor and blessings upon him. Good health, long life. I pray that he will continue to be as nice as God has created him. He will continue to be loving and caring every day. Anyami, in leka eno le mape mo yakpe. Se ami, onyami ni nantivan na po. Nkema one jombo. Ne ewo Africa part of Africa. E bliblo gaja hamo. Bloneke oguno. Nukokra benye ma otoe. Ewe ndeka po no. Ewe jomi ka fon no. Da na e anonya ne kpe ngon himem. Ne no fia no matayo. Epe ni papa. Ne wo senam keba hano fia no ngejenom. Opeka adango. No ma ha hewam. O ma ngo. O ma nene ni se ke. Opeka kane. Lokpe ha zama wi kaniwe na mango se. Ope jomi ha oweku NDC ke Ghana kra. Happy birthday, Yenyemi, Honorable Julius Debrah. Pa, papa.